I have better go ahead and redo my top 5 list of my most favorite near endings of all time that came from the great and mighty Liam Neeson. Well, anyway, hi ladies and dudes, this is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka Boobop 1970. This is my review for today. And today's review, ladies and dudes, well, my friends, to tell you the truth is, I gotta go ahead and redo my top 5 list all over again from scratch. And I hope this top 5 list will be a little bit better than before. And it's one of the old lists I did back in the year of 2015, and it was one of my most toughest lists I did so far. Well, after all, it is a while back. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and redo it all over again. So for my old top 5 list that I have to return is my top 5 best near endings that came from an old great and mighty Liam Neeson's films. And to tell you the truth is, ladies and dudes, out of all the actors and actresses who work so hard on their movies, try to make up a good storyline from beginning, middle to end, I will say that Liam Neeson had one of the best movies out there that has so much good movies that involves the beginning, middle, and end. But there's one special thing I do love about the Liam Neeson films the most. And something that is very special to me, surrounded deep inside my own heart, is truly the near endings. The near endings are so darn special to me. And there's so many good, interesting near endings that I found from a couple of good Liam Neeson films here and there. Well, except for third person. Third person does have a very good near ending for me. Well, if you guys pay attention to third person, it does have one of the most confusing near endings I'll never forget in movie history. So, since third person is the worst, let's go on to the good Liam Neeson films that does have good near endings. And some good near endings that I will never forget in movie history. So, without further ado, ladies and dudes, let's head on to my top 5 best near endings ever that came from in the great and mighty Liam Neeson's films. And yes, I do have a couple of honorable mentions for it. For my first honorable mention goes to A Walk Among the Tombstones. And I will never forget in the near ending where Matthew Scudder did have trouble with the last dude who was responsible for working with his partner and killing off so many women and chopping them up into pieces. And I will explain to you about that near ending whenever I can get to the top 10. No, not the top 10, but the top 5 best fight scenes ever that came from in the Liam Neeson film. That's coming really soon, whenever I can get there. And another good honorable mention goes to Run All Night. I really do love this near ending to death, but if Price had ruined the near ending for me, none of this will ever happen. Where Jimmy had finally met Michael's family for the first and last time. It was too darn sad shame for it. And last but not least are the Taken films. Number 1 and number 3. I love the near ending for Taken 1 where Brian Mills has to take care of the evil sex trade dudes once and for all. And the other one is where Brian Mills found out the truth. It was Stuart St. John who killed his one and true love, Lenny Mills. But I wish there was a part where Brian Mills has to tell Stuart the truth, that he is truly in love with Lenny for all this time. And he should have told him that at the beginning of the story. And that way it would have made better sense. If you know what I mean. So anyway, let's head on to my top 5 favorites. Something that might surprise you the most. Coming at number 5 has to go to The Unknown. I frickin' love this near ending for this very underrated classic that came from in the year 2011. Oh yeah, who doesn't remember this cool near ending where it took place at that German hotel where Dr. Martin Harris has to take care of the other Dr. Martin Harris once and for all. It was a very headstrong, brutal fight. And yes, Dr. Martin Harris did get a bloody nose for it. And he looks pretty hot with a bloody nose, and the blood is dripping up on his lips. But I'm sure everybody's most favorite moment from the whole entire fight is, "I didn't forget everything. I remember killing you, Edward Hole." That was one of the best dialogues I have ever heard in a Liam Neeson film. So yeah, surprisingly, this cool movie with a good near ending deserves to be at number 5. Coming out at number 4 goes to a very big surprise for all of you. And I freaking love this near ending to death, and I'm very darn happy I did rewatch this movie again. So for number 4 goes to The Commuter. I freaking love Commuter. It's a very good underrated film. You guys need to go back and rewatch this movie all over again. I don't think this movie is a rehash of Nonstop. It's more like refixing the story of third person, but giving Liam Neeson a much better Michael character and a much better storyline for him. So this is a refixing story of third person, but in a different Michael story. And yes, this movie does have a fantastic near ending, where Michael has to protect the passengers at the train and make sure no one gets hurt or killed by this unknown killer that came out of nowhere. And surprising thing is, there's going to be a plot twist in this film. A plot twist that's going to be pretty darn surprising. And yes, there is going to be a brutal moment between Michael and that unknown killer that came out of nowhere. So, like I said, I'm not going to spoil the plot twist for all of you since you guys haven't seen this movie yet. Well, just go ahead and see it for yourselves. And that's all I could say about this cool near ending that deserves to be at number 4. Coming out number 3 is one of the most greatest near endings ever that did release in a very sad note. So for number 3 goes to A Monster's Calls. And the best part I love about this near ending for 2 reasons. 1, it's going to be a very heartwarming moment. And 2, it's going to be a very heartbreaking moment. So I'm glad the directors, producers, the screenwriters, whoever these people are, they gave us a good in-between moment for the near ending about where Carter's mother is ready to pass away, so she could reunite with her family for one last time. And yes, the surprising thing is, the monster did show up at the nick of time, and he did keep his promise for Carter that he will be there for all of them before his mother will pass away. And I'll never forget this very sweet, heartwarming moment that will, have a special place in all of our hearts. Before Carter's mother will pass away, she began to open up her eyes for the very first and last time to see the monster face to face. And she did have a very nice warm smile on her face. And she is so happy to see him again, but sadly for the final time. I really love that moment. That will always be one of my favorite moments ever in movie history. So yeah, this really cool sad ending from A Monster's Calls deserves to be at number 3. Coming at number 2 goes to Taken 2. Well, if you guys remember my most favorite near ending of all time for the Taken saga, it is truly one of the best near endings ever in movie history. And I know I already explained to you about this near ending so many times. Like the camera angles and the moment where Brian Mills and that Propoya dude leader have to talk together for the very last time. It has so many fantastic dialogues, and I'll never forget what Brian Mills did to that dude at the ending point, for this movie. And it's cool near ending. But my most favorite part about the near ending I love the most for Take It To is truly the score. The score is truly the one that blew me away the most. Yeah, I love the score to death. Well, if you guys remember me so well about this really cool near ending, so I have nothing else to say. This epic near ending that came from Taken 2, it deserves to be another number 2. And also another thing I love about the near ending 2 is the reunited moment between Brian and Lenny. I wish there was another kissing moment in that film, if you know what I mean. And we already know which near ending deserves to be at number 1. So for number 1 goes to The Grey. I frickin' love this near ending from The Grey. We already know that the ending sucks, but the near ending rules. I mean, there are so many fantastic moments that you guys need to watch to believe it about this really cool epic near ending. Well, 2 special things that you should know about this near ending from this underrated classic. 1 is the score. The score is so darn beautiful, very emotional, and yet so sad at the same time. Something that will bring you to a tear to your eye. And another thing you should know about this near ending from The Grey is truly no dialogue to be found. There is not one single dialogue in the whole entire near ending for The Grey where John is gonna say something to all the dudes who lost their lives way too soon at the harsh, cold winter. Amen. I guess I have nothing else to say about this cool number 1 spot. So for The Grey, deserves to be the number 1 best near ending of all time that came from one of the most greatest films of all time, from the great to mighty Liam Neeson. And there you go, ladies and dudes. Those are my top 5 best near endings of all time that came from the great to mighty Liam Neeson. I hope you enjoyed this list. And tell me, ladies and dudes, what is your most favorite near ending that you have ever seen from the great to mighty Liam Neeson's films? Well, whichever it is, leave a comment there and let me know. And join me next time for my next videos to come. For more top 5 lists, I will get back to top 10 lists very soon. More movie reviews. I'll get back to anime reviews soon, and more short videos, or quick videos, or I guess you know me too well. Do you, ladies and dudes? For all the videos that I made for the last 7 years ago. If you guys get the picture. So, I'll be back very soon for more videos to come. And I'll see you guys later, and sayonara.